Hello everyone, just Gordon here, and do you want to see the scariest thing that ever happened to me in a zoo? Welcome back to another Planet Zoo real life inspiration video, and as you can see today we're looking at the Sourthern Cassowary. The other day I was in the Zoo of Amsterdam and I recorded this footage that you're looking at right now actually, and I don't know, it made me want to do a cassowary video. I was like, I've seen cassowary a bunch of times, let's go do it. I did not realize at the time that there weren't that many great habitats that I've seen. So let's start with the best one at Zoo Planckendael over here. Not going in the alphabetical order today. And yeah, we can see we have just a lovely lush habitat with a nice log fence in the background. The cassowary is walking around all over the place. I think we've got the female over here. Not actually quite sure. She's got the bigger fin on their head. I'm pretty sure that means it's the female. But we can see a simple chain link fence in the middle separating the two cassowary from each other, because I guess they can't really be put together all the time, so it's important to be able to separate them. Little backstage hut in the distance, but overall it's just this lush forest in the back. You can't even really see the fence in the back because of how dark it is underneath the shade of all of those trees. Yeah, I'm just a really big fan of this habitat. It looks super nice. And the best thing of all, we've got the giant metal cassowary. Lord praise the giant metal cassowary. I just absolutely love it. It's so stupid, but it's just charming and fun. And it also gives you a peek into the part of the habitat that is behind the log fence. So yeah, really cool. Next up we have the Aachener Tierpark, where we've got a much more simple habitat over here. Just a mesh fence with some hot wire at the top. Yeah, you can get quite close to the cassowary here, except that the cassowary was quite in the back over there. But yeah, as you can see, mostly there wasn't that much to look at. It's also very barren because it was in the middle of the winter. We've got the big backstage building over here, but yeah, just not a lot else to see. Over here in the back we can see a bit of the excess fence, but nothing much else here. So let's move on to the next zoo, which is going to be the Zoo of Amsterdam, Artis, which started this all. And the cassowary habitat is very hidden within the bushes. Like, a lot of people were just walking past this. You leave the gorilla house and then you get to this small viewing point, which in my case gave me a great view of the cassowary over here. It was absolutely gorgeous. You can see there's also some hot wire there preventing the cassowary from getting too close, and a little sign informing you that be careful, they have sharp beak and they will peck you because these guys are aggressive as hell. But yeah, for the rest of the habitat there's just more of these very small viewing points in the bushes that almost look like you're not even allowed to go in there. Like, there is some rock there and signage, so I suppose this is allowed, but it feels a little weird. It's a weird habitat over here. It's so hidden. I don't know. Over here you can also see some backstage bits, which I'm not even sure if is actually backstage for the cassowary or not. And then back here you see more of the habitat from like an elevated point of view, but there's so much foliage here. Like, I feel like in the summer you wouldn't see anything through this, but you can see the cassowary over there in the back. It had moved away from its spot. Next up we have Avifauna, which was the zoo where we saw that beautiful moment of the start of this video. Again, we have two habitats with some simple viewing in front over here, a big glass pane, which looks a little bit flimsy almost. There's also a rope fence in front of the glass pane, preventing people from getting too close, like I did with my camera, because of course I can kind of hold my camera over the rope fence and get a little bit closer that way. But yeah, other than that, the habitat is quite simple, but still quite lush. I'm very pleased to see how lush you can actually make these exhibits. It shows you can do a lot with these if you were to make the landscape of it a little bit more interesting, I suppose. Over here at Zoo de Maubeuge, we do have a nice little kind of downward sloping hill, and the habitat still looks quite nice. And again, it's very lush, it's very beautiful, but overall quite simple. Like with most of these habitats, they're all just, yeah, nicely dense foliage or grassy fields, with some glass viewing points or mesh viewing points, and that is about it. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if it's just nobody ever thought to do something more interesting, except there will be one more zoo coming up that is slightly more interesting. It's actually the last zoo that we're going to be looking at right now, which is Pairi Daiza. Here we are in the kangaroo walkabout, where we have this nice fern garden over here, and behind the fern garden is a cassowary habitat over here, which also again has a lot of these ferns inside of it. It's very lush, beautiful once again. I just don't like the fence in the back. It kind of takes me out of the immersion here. Like, the fence on the right side is fine. It's very unoffensive, you almost don't notice it, but here on the left it's a lot more just wood and it kind of takes me out of the immersion of the habitat, I guess. There's also a second yard, I think, on this side, which is even smaller and has even more of that wooden fence. So yeah, it's could be better. Most of these habitats really could be better, in my opinion. So I guess that's the challenge for you. How are you going to take these habitats that you've seen and elevate them to the next level in your own Planet Zoo projects? That's my challenge for you today. Go ahead and make some cassowary exhibits, because they are a really awesome creature. I mean, just look at how gorgeous they are. But anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you got some cassowary inspiration. If you want to have your name featured on this screen and also have earlier access to videos as soon as I edit them, instead of having to wait until the Wednesdays, be sure to hit the join button and become a channel member. But other than that, I will just see you next time. And bye-bye!